What?
What's up guys, it's me Janet and I'm back with another video, and today's video is another flight attendant story time. You guys always ask me for flight attendant story times. I do have a bunch, but like I always forget to film them, so here it is today. It's a mixture of funny, maybe not so funny, I don't know, just a bunch of flight attendant story times that I have to tell you guys today. I'm gonna throw it all in this one video. Actually, let's just see how long this video gets. But before we get into this video, y'all already know what's up. Story time, y'all need to get yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, smoothie, I don't know what y'all feeling this morning. Oh my god, okay, wait guys, before we get started, I just want to give shout out to two things again. First of all, shout out to you guys. I am currently like 10 subscribers away from 7,000 subscribers, and oh my god, thank you. I freaking love you guys with like all my heart. Like I genuinely, I just want to give you guys hugs and kisses because I love you all so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, for communicating and engaging on my videos. You guys like them, comment on them. When you guys comment, I really love to talk to you guys in the comment space, and like sometimes y'all point out things from my video, and like honestly I feel like we're family, you know, we're just chilling here. Also, shout out to y'all who follow me on Instagram. The Instagram family is real. Currently I'm almost at 5,000. I think I'm like 12 followers away from 5,000. It's just choked on my saliva. I'm like 12 followers away from 5k on Instagram. So you guys, if you guys are not already, please follow me on Instagram. This is my Instagram. Also, if you guys are not already, please subscribe. Like I honestly am so excited. So yeah, now I hope you guys already got yourself your drinks. Let's get into this video. So my first story time, I don't even know which one to start off with. I think I'm gonna start off with this because I feel like this is kind of cringe, and it's kind of like we're moving slowly. Okay, this is embarrassing and cringe and awkward. Actually, maybe none of those, I don't know. Let me just tell you guys my story time. A little backstory first. If you guys are new to my channel, I flew for 2 different airlines and I flew for a total of 6 years, and yeah, there's that. So this story right here happened in my previous airlines back when I was, I think, 19 or 20 years old, something like that. Now I'm 25. So just a little update for y'all. So I was on this flight and I think we were going to like Phuket or Krabi or something. I know it was like a islandy vibe because the flight was like filled with like backpackers and stuff. So it's usually like those islandy countries that backpackers are always on my flights. So, oh god, my hair looks crazy. So when we were boarding, I was in the galley. I didn't see like the passengers boarding because I was in charge of the galley that day. However, after boarding was done, your girl went, because usually for that airline, the galley steward or stewardess of that day will do head count, where we click and walk around the cabin, and then we know if my head count tallies with the crew in charge's head count, then we know we have all the passengers on board, right? So I was like walking and clicking, and then I did my head count thing and showed her, we tallied, whatever. I walked back when suddenly I spot a beautiful human being sitting at the emergency exit. So I was like, of course, I'm like, hello. Hello. Okay, this is before I met my boyfriend, okay? It's like way before I met my boyfriend. So I was like, how you doing or whatever. I saw him sitting at the emergency exit. He was sitting like the outer side of the emergency exit near the aisle seat, and I was like, how you doing? So I went back to the galley. I told my girls, I was like, yo, the guy sitting at 13 Delta, so 13D. So I was like, the guy sitting at 13D is like so hot or whatever. And then of course, as usual, as all flight attendants do really, when someone says someone is cute, we go and like patrol the cabin and just like have a look, acting as if we are checking for something or we're looking for something. But then we're like, okay, he cute or whatever. And then so basically, fast forward, we already took off. We are in air cruising right now, about to start our service ride. So this one was a budget airline that I used to work for in Singapore. And so the service was like, we have to sell stuff, nothing is free. Even water you have to buy, it's like $4 for a bottle of water. So we were like walking in the cabin with our cart, pushing our cart. And then we're like, any purchase of drinks, snacks, coffee, tea, any purchase? Any purchase coffee, tea on me? So we were walking past. When we walked past his seat, which is a bottle of water from us, and obviously I had to like kind of compose myself and just keep it all in and be like professional, you know. So I'm like, yeah, sure, sir, that'll be a bottle. That'll be $4 for a bottle of water. When my friend decided to backstab me. No, she didn't backstab me, but my friend decided to right in front of me turned to the guy, and like she's actually my friend, like outside of work, my friend. So she turned to the guy and she was like, hey, my friend here finds you really, really attractive. And I'm like, girl. But obviously I gotta own it, you know. Like if someone really put you in the situation, if you blush, you just look dumb, or maybe not, but you just gotta own it. And then he was like, oh, thank you, and stuff like that. And then he was like making conversation. And that time my friend regretted. She was like, okay girl, we gotta go, we gotta keep going now. Stop your conversation with your mans here. But so basically I was talking to him for a bit, and then we were like, I told him like I'll come back shortly. So we continued our service, any coffee, tea, blah, blah, blah. And then we reached the galley, parked the cart, and I was like, girl, I'm gonna go talk to my mans. So I carried my little tray, acting like as if I'm picking up trash. So I went into the cabin. I mean, I was picking up trash, but like I was there more so to talk to my mans, right? And then I stopped by at the emergency exit, and I was like talking to him. We were like just talking about random stuff actually. I was just like asking him typical things that I talk to all my passengers, to be honest. I'm a very friendly crew. So oh god, my hair looks crazy. Hold up, commercial break guys, commercial break. My hair looks freaking insane. Okay, I'm back. Where did I stop? Oh yeah, I was standing by his seat side and I was like talking to him, girls chatting. I was talking like basic things that I would talk to any of my passengers. I was just asking him like, oh, so you guys are planning, how long are you guys planning to stay here? What's the agenda? Like what's good here, what's good there? Honestly, that's how, like when I first started backpacking, a little sidetrack here. When I first started solo backpacking, I wasn't as scared to solo backpack because as a flight attendant, I've seen so many solo backpackers. He wasn't solo though, he was traveling with his friend. But I've seen so many solo backpackers, and I've talked to a lot of like backpackers and travelers when I was flying as a flight attendant. So like I would ask them things like, oh, what is the good like party hostel, or what's a good hostel to make friends at, where to go, what to do, what to eat, stuff like that. So like I had everything, all the information I needed at the back of my hand before I traveled. So I get asked that question a lot when I used to make my solo backpacking days vlogs, and that's the answer. The reason why I wasn't as scared as I should have been was because I'm already used to seeing that all the time, that when I was put in that situation I wasn't as scared. I kind of had like the confidence. Anyway, back to my story with my mans. So basically, I was talking to him, asking him stuff and all that, and then of course, you know, I had to slid in a little. So, what's your snap? Okay, I'm so embarrassed right now. Okay, back then, I wasn't really big on Instagram. Okay, I only became big on Instagram like later on. Big on Instagram, I wasn't like very, you know, invested in Instagram. I was more invested in Snapchat. Like I was always snapping stuff. Like if you were on my Snapchat, you'd be like, girl, stop. I was like, so what's your Snapchat? And he's like, I don't have Snapchat. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have Snapchat? I was like, okay, anyway, whatever lah. Like he doesn't have Snapchat, so what? And his friend goes like, oh, so you only want his Snapchat? And I'm like, I mean, I can have your Snapchat too. And he's like, I don't have Snapchat, which completely and actually defeats the purpose of you asking me why I didn't ask for your Snapchat. Anyway, so I went back to the galley after we talked, and I did not get his snap. So I went back to the galley and I was just like, I don't know, doing my work, when suddenly one of my crew comes walking down the aisle, giving me a piece of paper, and she's like, the guy at the emergency exit asked me to pass this to you. And then I opened the piece of paper. I'm like, okay, maybe he gave me like his Instagram, right? I mean, like I didn't ask for his Instagram, but maybe his Instagram, right? This brother gave me his contact number, his phone number. I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but my first reaction when someone gives me their number or asks for my number, I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like literally, what am I supposed to do with this? I hate texting with a passion. Like I truly, genuinely hate texting. If I text you or I reply your text, I mean, I probably love you, because like I hate texting so much. Like I despise it, right? So he gives me his contact number and I'm like, first of all, the reason why I asked for a Snapchat, or like these days you would ask for Instagram, is because like I want to stalk you and I want to see how you, like what you're doing, you know, kind of like check you out, like a picture too. Sometimes, you know, slid into the DMs, like reply to the person's snap, or like send them a cheeky little snap, you know, like just, you know, flirt a little bit in the DMs. But like, what am I supposed to do with your contact number? Check out your WhatsApp picture? Like, what am I supposed to do? But I saved it anyway. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I saved his name with a heart eye emoji. Also, like low-key though, if I know you at some point in my life and we've exchanged numbers. Your number's like forever engraved in my phone because I never delete contact numbers, and like I have everybody that I've ever known's contact number still in my phone. And yeah, that's the end of the story actually. I never texted him, he just exists in my phone until today. That's a little story time about how I almost got a babe, but he did not have Snapchat. Next story time I have, oh my god, I literally like wrote some down. This person, my sister thought this story was like damn funny, yeah. But basically it's about this passenger. You know Karens of the world? I have a lot of them on my flight. So this story time is a man Karen. Marin. So basically it's all like literally, I mean it's not the same flight, but it's the same like aircraft and the same airline back when I was in Singapore. What happened was this passenger, it was like boarding. It all starts when it's boarding, but yeah, it was boarding and we were like doing work, getting busy, stuff like that, back and forth, and suddenly like we keep hearing call bell ringing, like constant call bell ringing, and at this point you just think it's water because that's what they always want while you're boarding. You're always like, can I have water? One water please, water, water, water. That's all they always want. So I heard the call bell ringing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it is water related, by the way. So I walk up to the seat. It always has to be me. Why can't someone else take this kind of passengers? But yeah, I walk up to the seat and I'm like, hi sir, can I help you? And he goes, there is some kind of smelly water dripping on me. It's not a long story, by the way. He's like, there's kind of smelly water dripping on me, and I'm like, oh okay, let me like check it out. So I start checking the area where his like air vent is at, and I start checking the area and there isn't really any water dripping on him. So I was like, okay, what is this boy talking about? It's literally dry over here. And then suddenly I see like a drip and I'm like, okay, maybe it's the aircon water, so I need to get that checked out. So I start checking around the aircon area and it's not the aircon area. And then I was like, okay, you know what, the next common sense thing to do is probably someone's water is leaking from the overhead compartment. And at this point, this guy is furious, right? He's not like calm, he's not like, oh, there's smelly water dripping on me. No, he's like, there's smelly water dripping on me, blah 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 blah, you better fix it. What kind of airline is this? You let people's water drip on me. I don't know what is this dripping out of your aircraft. You need to fix your aircraft, blah 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 blah. He just kept going on and on and on and on and on, to which I completely ignored whatever this dude was saying because it's completely irrelevant to me. I need to fix the situation. So I climb on the side of the chair thing and start looking through the overhead compartment, right? Because I need to be up so that I can see properly what's going on inside. So I start moving bags apart, checking and seeing if any bags are damp, stuff like that. Suddenly I get this bag that is soaking wet, right? Soaking wet, literally. And then I take out that bag and I'm like, oh, we found the source of the problem. So this dude, by the way, is like screaming in the cabin, right? It's like literally shouting and like everybody can hear him. He's not screaming, but he's like raising his voice and getting so like angry and stuff like that in the middle of the cabin. And he was literally in the middle. So I start taking like the bags down and stuff like that, and I take this bag and I'm like, can I know whose bag is this please? And then he gets complete dead silence, right? Dead silence. And I'm like, is this anybody's bag? And then he said, that's my bag. I'm sorry, I just remembering the situation, how much of an ass I was. So I was like, is this anybody's bag? And he's like, that's my bag. He kind of whispers, that's my bag. I heard him. So I was like, I'm sorry, is this anybody's bag? There's leaking water in here. Is this anybody's bag? And he goes, that's my bag. And I'm like, sir, is this your bag? I think the smelly water is coming from your bag. And I feel so bad. Oh my god, I should not have done that. But yeah. So I was just so pissed off because he was being a complete Karen. He was literally like making a big scene and like as if our aircraft is producing some sort of smelly water. It wasn't even smelly water, it's literally his water bottle that opened up. I mean, if that water bottle was smelly water, I wonder where he gets his water from, because like that ain't our aircraft. Anyway, he's kind of embarrassed and I passed the bag to him. He just took his bag, sat down quietly and didn't make a peep throughout the flight. I love putting people in their place sometimes. That's that. My sister thought it was very funny because I went like, sir, I think the smelly water is coming from your bag. But yeah, that's what happened. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys would do if you were dealing in the same situation. Because like, what else is there to do when someone's being so rude and then turns out they were the problem to begin with? I mean, if you have the opportunity, you might as well take it and rub it in their face, right? So yeah, next story time that we have is Oh my god, slipper throwing story time. Okay, this slipper throwing story time, I don't really remember what happened because it was like a long time ago. Basically what happened was, I was operating a China flight. I don't remember where to, but it was a China flight, and there were tour groups on my flight as well as just a few passengers, right? And a few other like solo slash not a part of the tour group passengers. And so whenever tour groups I feel like if any flight attendants watching this right now, you feel me on this tour group package. Whenever tour groups travel on your aircraft, they act like as if it's their house, okay? They'll be screaming from one end to the aircraft to the other end to the aircraft, from one end of the aircraft to the other end of the aircraft, just like having conversations, just screaming across. And when it is in a different language, I mean, I speak Mandarin, but I don't speak Mandarin that fluently that I can understand everything you're saying. Like, you need to speak to me slowly and then I'll slowly catch on to what you're saying. So when people speak in different language, doesn't matter if it's freaking Mandarin or Cantonese or Tamil or whatever language, Malay, doesn't matter whatever language, if it's a tour group, they are always acting like it's their house because they feel like the entire aircraft is just their friends, so they can talk whatever they want back and forth, even though like there are a couple of like solo travelers in the aircraft. They're just like, okay, whatever, it's my group, it's my girls, it's my gang. So yeah, so basically usually whenever that happens, it's like a tour group and people are screaming back and forth in the aircraft, we kind of just let it be because there is really nothing you can do. There is really nothing you can do, and unless if like they are really making a crazy chaos, then we'll probably come and tell them like, hey, can you keep it down a little bit? Or if passengers complain, then we're like, there are passengers, you know, uncomfortable right now, so maybe you can perhaps keep it down. So yeah, that's what usually happens, right? So I was operating this flight, I can't remember which part of China, but to some place, and I was one of the most senior flight attendant on this particular flight, right? So there were like 2 crews at the back and I was working in front together with my in-charge cabin crew. Don't ask me why they did that, because I always feel that you should put at least 1 senior with 1 junior at the back and then 1 senior and 1 junior in front. At least then, I mean, if anything, they always know how to handle the cabin. But if you put 2 juniors together who is not very familiar with a lot of things, the aircraft could go upside down. So basically I was in front, we take off, did our service, and I kid you guys, not even like what, couple minutes into resting, I get both. You're not supposed to leave your galley unattended, but I get both my cabin crews from the back running to the front and are like, Jenna, can you please come and help us? There's a crazy chaos going on in the cabin. And I'm like, what's happening? So I was like, first of all, the first thing that ran through my head, I was like, okay, this is just normal, it's tour group things. I don't know if you guys have experienced it yet before, but usually whenever like there's a tour group on your flight, they kind of just act like as if they're all a family and it's their house, so they do whatever they want. And they're like, no, it's like a crazy chaos, things are flying. And I'm like, things are flying? So I walk into the cabin. Oh god, okay, wait, let me compose myself. I walk into the cabin and I'm like, I see these 2 ladies standing and they have like groups, like you know when people fight, people have like street fights and then suddenly you have like your backups over here and they have their backups behind that. That was literally what this was like. So these 2 ladies, it was one like older lady, which I'll probably say she's like 80 years old, 80 something years old, and this young girl who's probably like in her 20s or maybe slightly below 20, maybe like 18, 19 years old, right? The both of them are screaming at each other, fighting away. And I'm just like, what is happening? Like, how did I not hear all of this commotion going on in front? So I come into the cabin and I'm just like, I hear these 2 screaming and all their backup people are like, oh, and I'm like, okay, calm down, like what's happening? And the 2 crew at the back speaks Mandarin, right? But they were so scared to be there that they all ran in front and asked me to be there. And I'm just like, give me some sort of translator over here, okay guys? Someone stand by my back, like have my back on the situation. But then no, I was there all alone. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to calm everybody down. And then using the little Mandarin that I know, I'm like asking them, okay, what happened? Is everything okay? Like, calm down, sit down, talk about it. And no one's listening to me. They calm down for a while and then they're like, And then suddenly, I kid you guys not, I'm like facing this side, cause like one person was sitting slightly behind and one person was sitting like slightly in front. And I turned to the one at the back, the younger girl, and I'm like, okay, calm down, like we can all settle this by just, you know, relaxing calmly. When suddenly I see a shoe fly across from me and hit this lady, and I'm like, what is happening up in this place? Like literally, where am I? Like, where am I? This is insane. So I'm like, I see a shoe pass by. If just like she misaimed a little bit, she would have probably hit the back of my head, which I would have been pissed about. But then I'm just like, I see a shoe pass by and I'm like, yo, what the heck is happening right now? I turn this side to see where the shoe came on. I see a magazine pass by and I'm like, what is happening? Where am I up in this place? It was just so funny. It was first of all, I gotta admit, it was so funny because it's like, imagine an 80-year-old lady taking out her shoe and just throwing it across at the aircraft. An aircraft throwing. Okay, I'm not, you guys get the picture. But yeah, basically I tried to calm the situation. I didn't really get to calm the situation, and I suddenly remembered a random thing that happened also in the flight. Oh my god, there was this guy, he just started praying in tongues. He was just like holding his hand out and praying in tongues, and if you guys don't know what praying in tongues is, Google it. But he just started praying in tongues and I was just like, guys, what is happening at this point? And then after everything started to calm down a little bit, one of my crew came back. I asked her to help me translate things so that everything comes to the understanding better, because my Mandarin is very, very broken. So if I ask you to, okay, please like be quiet, I'll probably say "ansing," and that is not a very nice way to say it. So I say that sounds so bad, which basically in direct translation it is I'm sorry, but can you be quiet? Yeah, that's literally it. That sounds so bad. But I think usually whenever I talk to my China passengers, they are not like, they don't get offended because they know it's not my first language. So whatever I say, sometimes they will laugh and they will correct me on how to say it. So like yeah, they basically they kind of like chilled and calmed down, and then my friend helped me say everything more politely instead of my version of Mandarin. So yeah, everything calmed down. The guy stopped praying in tongues and sat down. And then I like everything was back to normal. We went back to my galley, whatever. There was still like some shouting here and there, but it wasn't like, it was more of like people it was like kind of mumbling under your tongue, and then you scream something and you're like, what, and then you go back to mumbling under your tongue. It was those which I can still handle. As long as you don't throw shoes, don't throw no magazines, I'm good to go. So that was the next story time. Let me know if you guys have ever been in a situation like this. Also, I know that a lot of my crew watch my videos, so if you guys are a flight attendant and this stuff has ever happened to you, please let me know, or like let me know what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you as a flight attendant, or just as a passenger in one of your flights. Let me know what's the funniest thing that you've ever witnessed. I think I'm just gonna end the story times over here, because like 3 story times and I'm already, it's such a long video. So I'll keep the rest for another rainy day. But I just want to share this thing. I thought it was so funny. I saw this on Instagram. Someone shared this, like a screenshot of a tweet that someone posted. It said, I want a plane and this little I want a plane and some baby is singing ABCs all out of order, and some random guy shouts out, "Yes, go remix!" Anyway, so that's this video, guys. It's a hella long video, and I only shared 3 stories so far. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, if y'all enjoyed the story, and if you guys want more flight attendant story times, I have a lot, and I'll definitely do them. I'll listen to you guys. Also, let me know what type of videos you guys want. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys have not already. Please subscribe. Round me up to 7,000 and I'll be so eternally grateful and thankful to you guys. Yeah, so leave a comment down below of whatever you want to tell me or talk to me about. But yeah, that's that, guys. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Oh, I post every Fridays. Bye!